What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got news on Trump's running mate, finally getting more clues on who he's going to pick to be his VP, guys. Trump coming out and making some remarks in a speech that may have clued us in on exactly who he's going to choose as that VP candidate. You know, we've been speculating very heavily in the, past months to see who he's going to pick. Honestly, I don't even know who to point the finger at this. It's been so many people. We have Vivek Ramaswamy, we have Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens. We've had so many figures, guys. We need Trump to come out and let us know. We got some clues here in this next clip that I'm excited to get into. So we're going to jump straight into the clip. I got my thoughts on the back end of the video, guys. So definitely stick around to the end so you guys get my thoughts on the back end. And also, YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around to the end of the video, guys. But let's get straight into it. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button and also smash that subscribe button, guys. As we're on the road to the truth, hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Trump was on Maria Bartiromo talking about the vice president. And of course, he left everyone more confused than they started because he has no intention of telling you. And it sounds like he's walking back that he even knows who he's going to pick. We'll go through this interview together, including squashing absolutely false rumors that have gone all over the internet. You guys don't have to worry about that kind of a correction on this show. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Let's go.
When will you announce who your VP is?
Not for a while. I mean, we have so many great people in the Republican Party, but not for a while.
Well,
so first of all, he has no intention of telling you.
what criteria are you using to identify who your running mate is?
Always, it's got to be one thing. It's got to be who would be a good president. I mean, you always have to think that because, in case of emergency, things happen, right? No matter who you are, things happen. It's got to be number one.
Now, that's the best news there is if he's telling the truth, because it means he's not going to try to use the vice presidency to win. That is, put in a diversity hire, put in a woman who may not be qualified for president. So he's going, look, this is just someone who Trump thinks would make the best president. Let's keep going because he's going to squash a few bad rumors out there too.
Who is your running mate?
Well, I have a lot of good people. We have a lot of really good people.
So you haven't decided who it is?
I have a lot of good ideas, but I haven't. And there's no reason to do that quickly.
So you haven't told that person, you're my person?
I speak to everybody. I speak to everybody.
He's being so vague, Trump. She's going, so you've spoken to that person. Well, I speak to everybody. That's not an answer. And at the very least, even if Trump does know, it sounds like he has not specifically made an arrangement, which is what I thought he was getting at with Stefanik. So I think he still hasn't decided, and maybe he's vetting them or whatever, but he has a short list. I believe J.D. Vance, Ben Carson, Elise Stefanik are on it, and maybe someone like a Kristi Noem.
I called Tim Scott this because a lot of people like Tim Scott. I called him and I said, you're a much better candidate for me than you are for yourself. When I watched Tim, he was fine, he was good, but he was very low-key, et cetera, et cetera. I watched him in the last week defending me and sticking up for me and fighting for me. I said, you're a much better person for me than you are for yourself, because for himself he was low-key. For me, he's been a real tiger. He's been incredible.
This is something I hadn't thought of before. This is why Ron DeSantis was not the right pick for president, even though he's a great, great conservative. He doesn't have a fight in him. He's not the guy who will make a fist. Tim Scott is, but I think Trump is saying he kind of came to it late in the game. But it also shows that Trump is looking for a kind of a rude brawler in a vice president to be president, which I didn't think of before, but imagine what the next president is going to have to be able to do. The next president is going to have to fight the left by him or herself without Trump, because Trump will be too old or moved on or whatever. He wants to set up America with the next guy capable of pulling off a win in the ring. Who is that fighter? Again, I think it's Elise Stefanik, but that's me speculating on who can fight. I think Vivek Ramaswamy is a BSer. I think RFK is a hardcore leftist, and that's the next one to squash, is these people who were lying to you about RFK this week. No, he was never in the running.
So maybe it's Tim Scott.
Well, it could be a lot of people. No, but that has nothing to do. I don't want anybody to take even any inference, but it's incredible. Kristi Noem has been incredible fighting for me. She said I'd never run against him because I can't beat him. That was a very nice thing to say.
What was the story that your team reached out to RFK Jr.?
It's a false story, no.
It's false. That's why we didn't report on it. It just smelled bad, and it was obviously smelled bad too. I'm going to get into what's so weird about that. I don't get the right's fascination with RFK. RFK is an insane, hardened, leftist Marxist. And they're all going, look, there's like very little difference between Mike Pence and Trump. Let that sink in. I just want to show you how Mike Pence is out, way out of the game. But his values are very close to Trump's. He just made one different decision on the Constitution than Trump's. Now, the difference between what RFK believes about everything is so far to the left of Mike Pence, including the Constitution. There's nothing in common. And a bunch of conservatives are willing to go for a hardened Marxist, anti-Second Amendment, gun-grabbing, environmentalist Marxist. RFK supports reparations. Just because he's not Mike Pence, you got to open up your mind to the definition of what being an actual conservative is. Mike Pence, you may not like him, but he is not a rhino. You might call him a traitor, but he's not a Marxist traitor like RFK, and half of our party is ready to put him on the vice presidential ticket, which is crazy. He would destroy this country and destroy the next presidency.
You never reached out to RFK Jr.?
I like him a lot. Nope, never happened.
Yeah, he's never even reached out to him. So whoever's telling you this stuff, the same guys that are telling you that Vivek Ramaswamy is on the map, they don't get it. Vivek Ramaswamy, I love the guy. I'd have him on my show. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a brilliant guy. I think he's a little too new to conservatism. I think his DNA going back is pretty thin. He scrubbed the support of that George Soros supported him. He scrubbed that off, paid to get it scrubbed off of Wikipedia. So I have some trust issues with the guy in that he's a fast talker, comes in. By the way, all politicians to some degree make a shift in their values when they get into the election. So I don't get why the right was so enamored with making him vice president when there's so many better candidates than that on principle.
Is it fair to believe that you would have a number of your former officials in your new cabinet?
I will put some back, I'll tell you. And by the way, we had unbelievable people. We had to, I rebuilt the military.
Yeah, but your critics say you had plenty of personnel mistakes.
No, of course, but everybody does.
But Trump is going into this next administration a much wiser man this time. I think he knows there's people out to stab him in the back, and he's going to have his eyes open now.
What about some of your former officials? Do you see them being in this next cabinet? Mike Pompeo, for example.
I don't know.
John Ratcliffe?
He's fantastic. I mean, he's a great guy. John Ratcliffe has done a great job. Yeah.
Dr. Ben Carson?
He's done a fantastic job.
So you're expecting them to be in your cabinet?
Some of them, yeah. I mean, if somebody did a good job, I would do that, yeah.
She only brought up Mike Pompeo and Ben Carson to see if they were on the vice presidential running. She's trying to shake something out of him. He's not giving anything away. I don't know if it's because he knows or if he doesn't know. But now, as you know, I'm flip-flopping on this a lot. Now I'm starting to think, I don't know if he's decided or not. If you don't believe it's going to be Stefanik, Ben Carson, or J.D. Vance, tell me who you think it's going to be.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. Definitely going to be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those of you who want to go over there and check that out. Also, for you guys to go over there and show our friend Doug some love. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like Donald Trump. Just know he's toying around with the people. He knows we are eagerly waiting on the edge of our seats for that VP. We want to know who his running mate will be. he's giving us great hints. I will say, you know, I don't feel like we picked out enough hints from this clip. Donald Trump is definitely saying, you know, he wants someone that is America First patriot, that is very stern and has a backbone, able to defend Trump. It sounds like Tim Scott, he walked him almost into the spot and then backtracked it all the way just to make sure that no one was too speculatory on Tim Scott. So I feel like, and I want to lean more towards Tim Scott, but then again, you know, Trump was very vague here. I feel like he was definitely playing around. Maria was almost upset. Badarama was so, like, she just wanted to know, like, Trump, just give us a hint. Trump definitely had us on the edge of our seat there with the Tim Scott, gassing him up, letting him know, like, Tim Scott's a huge advocate for me, even more so than I feel like he was for himself. Then going on to say, you know, very nice things about Lee Stefanik. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're in that middle point where it's so gray. It's murky. We really can't see what's at the bottom, you know, we can't tell until it floats up to the top. So I guess we'll have to, you know, sit and speculate some more. Tim Scott. Very interesting perspective on Vivek Ramaswamy coming from Doug in Exile, saying that, you know, he had some George Soros backings that he paid to get scrubbed from the net. I never heard anything about this, and it's probably because it's been scrubbed from the net. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section and let me know something about that. Vivek Ramaswamy, does he really have George Soros backing? Because that may, you know, put a damper. I feel like that would have put a damper on his running for the RNC. Honestly, the Vivek Ramaswamy take was one of the most surprising points that I feel like we'd seen all video. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on that. Vivek Ramaswamy as a George Soros-backed plant. I'm not sure about this narrative, guys. Definitely, you know, fill me in. Send me a link. I don't know, guys. Also, make sure you guys hop in the comment section. Let me know about Trump's VP potential running mate. Who are we thinking it's going to be, guys? Give me some choices, man. Is it Lee Stefanik? Is it Kristi Noem? Is it Tim Scott? Is it Vivek Ramaswamy? I'm going to keep him on my board until you guys tell me otherwise, but just let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button, y'all, as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey, y'all. Catch you guys on the next week.